Hello and welcome back to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. So yesterday we worked on getting our inventory system saving and loading so that it applies to what tunic you're wearing, what spell you have equipped, and what tome you have selected, and we can now save and load it. So one of the next things we've got to do is do the saving and loading for the overworld, because there's a couple of things that should, remember, have some memory, permanence. What's the word I'm looking for? Because this water here, when we hit a button, what button is it? We were like cleansing the water, right? If we hit some button. But basically we can turn this water into blue, and that's the end of the demo. So we need to remember that, so that if we save it after that point, when you come back and play, that the water doesn't go back to purple, because that's what is drawn on the atlas, on the map. That we export from tiled. So let's see what button we have to toggle the water, and then we'll see if we can kind of just copy over that state. So it's called cleanse water. Cleanse the global water. Okay, so what cleanse the global water method is doing is cycling through. It's actually initializing all empty animatables tables. It cycles through and it essentially just repopulates all the animatables tables. Then what it does is, then we run this insert cleansed water. So what does this says? Cleanse the global water. And it looks like what we're doing is putting in a cleansed water frame. If it starts on that purple frame. So if it starts on the old corrupted frame, then we're going to say, well, now that's going to actually have a clean water animation starter, and then insert that animatable so that it can update over time. So we do have to run this cleanse global water. That'll reset the animatables table to have anything with a corrupted water to actually start with a clean water. But then when we say insert cleansed water, this is where we're kind of blending it over for the illusion, which we won't need for the save and load. So basically, where do we have this Tome 1 success state initialized? Because I'm a little confused at why we do it like this. Tome 1 success state. Okay, so it's literally a state in our global state machine. And we do all this stuff. So I'm trying to figure out how we can run this method without necessarily copying all that code. So it is a method here on the tome success state. We might want to just have it be a global function, because this is. I wonder if we can run a method on a state machine, on a state that is outside of our current state machine. I don't think that's really possible. Okay, let's maybe do it where I think we'll just rewrite the function to go insert the cleanse water. But we will have to update that as we add anything to the animatables. So I don't like it for that reason. And I don't think we want to change. We don't really want to change the state. Let's see how we run this cleanse global water. We literally just execute it off the tome1 success state. I guess. Yeah, I don't really want to just double up the function. But I'm not sure what to do otherwise. We should just run it. We'll just do it globally. What we'll do is just say this is called cleanse the global water, not self-cleanse the global water. And then when we actually define it, we'll just define it as not a method, but just a global function here, so that we can run it. And then let's see, I think there's a button we do to cleanse the water and test it, but I'm not seeing it. Okay, so what we could do is just play the tome on the right place, right? So, uh-oh. We didn't spawn with the animations loading, which I feel like is an issue we've seen before. Yeah, we don't have any animations working. I mean, you're not allowed to save here anyway, but there's some flowers where you can save that it's just not clicking in to update. So where would that be? Let's look at our animatables, because that's the table that's holding these things. Update over time. Animatables update in a play state. Does this work outside a conditional? We have the animatables update here in the play state. So it's rendering at least the first layer, right? But you know what? I think we've had this problem for a little while. Did we actually save it there? Because I think this is... Let's try saving it over here. Because you're not actually allowed to save over there. So look, our flowers are animating here. We're going to save it. We're going to jump back in and see if we have the animatables when we spawn. Yeah, see, it is broken. Okay, so something in our... See, we have these things called animatables, and we we have this thing called an insert animation that updates that animatable, because it's like it's working when we walk to a scene. It's just not working like when we spawn out a scene. So it's really close to being done, but okay, so what's happening with an insert animation is we're executing all the functions that are stored in the animatables table, and that just takes in a specific animatable frame. Actually, cycles through. It says for every index of them, go execute the function. Okay, and then that animatables table is actually, the function that we're actually running is this insert anim, which just puts the animation, which is the third parameter here, into what we're actually seeing in the level. So where is this insert animation? It's in the animatables. Okay. This is so weird. The naming is so weird for this. Okay, L looks like Let's see if this restarts it. Let's see, but it's... Yeah, let's see. Because this looks like the right kind of thing. Okay, so flower's not animating. We hit L and it does. Okay. So we just have to kind of do this. We kind of just have to change the state machine's animatables to be the current scene once it's initialized. So when we go to load the player data, we should just add this into load player data. So we'll have load player data, and right, we want to load the player data here. If we're in the title screen state, yeah. If we die and we hit continue, we should load the player data as well. You know what? I accidentally cut out the 2 lines we needed. Oh, it's right here. Okay. So let's yank this and not delete it just yet. But we have to go, when we actually have our load player data method, we have to add this animatables after the scene is made. So right, we're gonna get the scene. We're gonna load. Where do we load the scene? Right here. We have a scene view current map that we load. Okay. So then I'm gonna say, okay, by the way, we're also gonna take the insert anim for the scene views map row map call here, and then assign the animatables into that current state machine whenever we load the player data. So now we just have to say load player data, actually run it at things like when we hit start after a game over. Pressing L, yeah, let's get rid of that too. And then this is from a title, no, for a falling chasm state. We're actually going to load the player data here too. And you know what? Our load player data is actually set in the play state init. That's what this is doing. The save data needs loading. So that's just in the init. Because yeah, if we look at the init in the play state, we do this where we load the player data only if the save data needs loading. So this load isn't right because what we really need to do is just re-init the play state, I guess. For now, I guess we can do that. That's fine. Let's just leave that as is. Actually, I don't want to do it here. I want to make sure we do it in the load player data. Okay. So we need to go back and turn off all the load player datas that don't have a, or that do have a data needs loading flag here. We should probably delete those. If this works, we'll go back and delete those so we don't run into this issue again. Okay, we got it off there. We need to get it off here. See, so we do flip that bool. We do change the play state, which would then load the player data. And we did add the load player data. We'll double check that we added what we needed to that. Okay, and L is pressed. I'm not so sure about reloading. As long as it works on the load, we should be fine. So let's look at the load. Yo, doing well. What's up? Okay, we do assign it here. So this is one part of the issue, right? We need to make sure that we are loading the correct animatables upon a load, which hopefully we just fixed. No. I don't see it. When do we change? Because this is when we run load player data. It should be doing it. Because if we were to hit L, it works. Yes. So if we load a game there, it works. So are we doing something wrong with the title screen state? Oh, we're not even loading. Well, because we're changing to the play state. Let's just try to load. Because the play state, yeah, the play state should have it. See, it worked that time. But we do have, hold on, does that really not work? Yeah, well, it looks like, it looks like just changing the state machine, just loading, I don't get why if we load the player data, it works better. Even though changing it should reinitialize the state machine, which would then load the player data because we have save data that needs loading. But taking it out doesn't work here. So okay. Well, at least that is working. So let's try the cleanse, right? When we do something, we're supposed to cleanse the water. And we do that by doing this. Right now we trigger this with like the animatable cinematic because the water kind of fades in slowly. But what we really want to do is just run this cleanse the global water right away instead of waiting for the water alpha. So cleanse the global water is now a global function. So we should be able to do that upon a load. So like, let's just test. You know, we don't want to always cleanse the global water, but if it works, then we can trigger it proper. So let's say when we load, we're going to go ahead and cleanse the global water. And let's just see if that works. We're looking for blue water and not purple water. Okay. Oh. It's not animating. We do have animated tiles working, but not the cleansed water. So there's got to be one last thing we're doing when we cleanse the global water that actually makes it update, which we might have to like reinitialize the animatables. Well, cleanse the global water does reinitialize the animatables. Okay, insert cleaned water. Insert cleansed water. Where do we do that? Tome 1 success state, we run an insert cleansed water. This is really weird that we're running this method in the render. This is very strange. Huh. Okay. So this is so that we can do the actual fade in of a blue water coming over the purple. So how are we actually triggering when we do the cleanse? Where are we triggering like the water alpha? We don't even do that. We just put in the new animatables. Yeah, insert cleanse water is so that we can animate it instead of it just instantly replacing the purple water, that it actually has like a transition. So that doesn't really bug me, but we must be doing something else here that is actually animating the tiles, and I don't see where. Because we do this cleanse the global water. What is this water? Cleased. Ugh. Water cleased. Should be cleansed here. Okay, water cleanse. See, and this is just so weird. This the fact that this field is on the Tome 1 success state is just so weird. I'm gonna just fix it so it says the right thing, because that, first of all, is just jacked up. Okay, water cleansed. We update our animatables. If the water alpha is bigger than this, then we're going to cleanse the global water, which should replace the animatables. So in cleanse the global water, at the end of it, we're also doing... Oh, see, we should probably do the insertion here for the scene view. Yeah, we should probably do that here. So when we do this local animatable... Uh-oh, where is it? Initialize animatables. Yeah. Okay, so I don't think we want it in the load necessarily. I guess that's okay. We want it when we run the cleanse global water. So when we run the cleanse global water, we're also going to just reinitialize all those animatables, and hopefully that works. So we're looking for, since we're cleansing the water, we're looking for blue water animating from the instant we walk over. No, still no. Why does it print game loaded twice? This has got to be because we do it in the init and elsewhere. Where did we just add this? Dude, this is jacked up. Right here. We should... No. It's where... Right here. We shouldn't need this here. Let's just double check we're loading the game once here. Okay, that fixed that. Okay. So cleanse the global water is working now for some reason. What? Why is it working now? Let's just double check. It did seem to work. Oh, see, look there. It's not updating when we spawn there. But it's updating now. What the So it's still busted on a scene that we spawn into? So does that mean... Current animation refresh. We do it right here, man. We do it. Let's try doing it Not after a load, but after start a game. Like once we like literally do it after we load the player data, after we execute this method. So if we need to load, we're going to load and then we're going to do this. Let's try that. Nope. It's still not animating here. What's weird though is if we hit L, it'll start working, right? So it's not animated. We hit L, it starts to animate. And then it loads twice for some reason. But if this is working, then when we walk over here, the water's broke. What the heck? So it's like only one can work. Either it works right off the bat when we walk into the screen, or it works right off the bat when we load the game. So it is not correct. I was hoping this wouldn't be this much of a weird nuisance. We do have an animatables here. So maybe what we do is say the state machine current can get the self animatables. Yeah. Let's try this. We're going to load the data. We're going to copy over the animatables into the state machine, and let's see. No. And the blue water is animating. So this is very weird. So that fixes it here. So why can't we just whenever we load player data, see, because this one works. This one works. When we hit L, it works. And what we're doing here is just doing the load player data, then we reinitialize those animatables. But this one doesn't work. Okay, if we change to play state here, and this is from the title screen state, we're going to change to play state, we're going to reinitialize those animatables, and just test that. Hopefully this fixes it. Okay, it works here. Okay, that looks like it. We should probably make this a global function too. I don't know when exactly we need it. Every time after we load, we have to reinitialize this. It doesn't work. What I don't get is like, if we initialize it in the load, it just doesn't work. Instead of having to do it here, because like ideally, we just add it to the end of the actual method, load player data, but we did that and it was not working. Well, we did take it out. Let's try it one more time. Let's put it in the load player data. Right? Yes, load player data. So we put it there, then here from the title screen state, we're going to copy this out. And if this doesn't work, we'll just go with what we found to work. Yeah, this doesn't work. What the? Adding it? I don't get it. I don't get it. we must be reinitializing something. So we'll leave that. Okay. So this is working at least. Okay. So that's the first step, is to just be able to cleanse the water without being in the tome success state. So other than that, we just need to save a boolean of, hey, is the demo water cleansed, yes or no? If it is, let's go cleanse the water. If not, we leave it as purple. What's up, Melaneth? So we'll do this. Let's go into our save player data, and we'll just add a key that says this is demo water cleansed. Now we need to pull this from somewhere. It can be... Do we put it on the player? Do we put it... No. Tome state. We can just... Let's see. Because basically we have this tome 1 success state that this is what's doing the transition of the blue water over the corrupted water for us. So at a certain time, and this is like, you know, in this state the player will be in cinematic, so you can't control him. You have to watch the transition essentially, and then we could do, once we're in like whatever step here that we actually cleanse it, right here, water cleansed on the tome 1 success state. So we can say do we just initialize this as false and then is as like a global variable? Because it should be demo water cleansed gets true. And if this is... Would it make it sense to be in here? No, it doesn't make sense to be in this init. think I'm just trying to figure out, because we can do this. If that's what it takes, Melanith. If that's what it takes. If it is. Because we can do this, like you're saying, with this like anonymous function and this like event dispatch of a function. But we have to... I'm trying to just conceptualize it, because it's like... if we initialize the demo water cleanse to be false upon a new game, then we just dispatch this event to cleanse the global water once we dispatch this event, and then we just save whether or not it is updated or not. Yeah, that's a good point, Melanith. But yeah, it's like I wouldn't say it's like we're wearing weights for training, though. It's kind of like almost everything I've done is out of like a, well, I guess this works, and then I move on, you know? Like I am new to this. I don't know what I'm doing. So this is all a learning experience. But yeah, I guess if there's no save file, like when we create the game, if we start a game and there's no save file, let's just initialize the demo water cleanse to false. Then either once we hit a Tome 1 success state, we go do this event dispatch of cleanse the global water or cleanse the demo water, whatever we want to call it, so that we can event dispatch, which would rewrite the animatable tables to have the cleanse water. But then we can also event dispatch on a load if we have cleansed the global water at the time of saving. Which makes sense. And then we can get out of some repetitive stuff there. So it looks like all we have to do for this event dispatch is define it with an event on, and then write the function, and then do an event dispatch. So it should be really easy. But yeah, I mean, everything is so glued together. Everything is glued together in the sense of like, you know that Scotch tape you have for Christmas where it's like old Scotch tape and you go to rip it and it like rips lengthwise and then you have to like search around the roll to get the tape. It's like that kind of tape is what's glued this whole game together. Hey Kavictus, what's up? It's that tape that is like you can't even rip a nice clean chunk off. You have to like slowly, painstakingly rip apart the pieces, re-stick it together with the stuff that is still sticky. Okay, so we're gonna do this event dispatch. So I think the move is wherever we have this demo water cleansed boolean, we'll make this global and we'll just do this in the map declarations. Well, it's so Melanith, it's like, I mean, what you're saying makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, it's helping because that, you know, it should be a dispatch. We should just be able to say, cleanse the water and have it do it, like the anonymous function you're saying. And yeah, we could technically just write a global function for it and just execute it, but like I like this. We don't want to be copying pasting that function. We want to just copy the dispatch so that if we change the function, it updates all the way around. So I get that. I think that's good. It's just like, it's hard for me to wrap my head around this stuff because I really have, there's no tutorial on how to make my game. So like I'm just sitting here gluing one little piece together at a time. So I'm going to have this, and we're actually going to call it demo water cleansed. Why do we do this? And yeah, I don't know. I used to just do all caps for constants, but now I use it for like special things. The function should be sending the event. Yeah. I'm with you. I think because we've got this thing, we've got this event dispatcher that does what you're saying, so I think we'll just trust that instead. So we'll initialize this as false, and thanks for the follow, Green. I appreciate that. Demo water cleansed. Okay, so we initialize this as false. But the hard thing is, if the last save file... yeah, dude, that's not the first time I've done cleased. I just had to fix that earlier. Okay. So demo water cleansed, okay, and then... yeah, we want to say, just like this is in the tome 1 success state. So we actually want the event loop, because we have to define what a cleanse demo water looks like. So where is our example? So that's how you dispatch, and here's how you define. So we'll say this. Now where would we put it? Because this is in the tome success state, but that's... I don't know. It's almost like we need like a place to just live all of these anonymous functions so that they're in a relevant place somehow. But I guess... no, it's just a name for us because there's different... so there's 4 biomes in the game plus the non-actual biome of a... demo area. So the demo area that actually gets cleansed right now, technically all purple water is getting cleansed with this because we just wanted to get it working for the demos, but we'll have to go in and switch it up so it only cleanses it for certain biomes. So the game doesn't really know what's demo or not. We just have been naming it like that just because it's part of the bigger plan. Yo, nice battle royale, Cavictus. Let's go. Okay, so I guess it doesn't really matter where we define this event. So let's say that it's called cleanse demo water. Let's just call it that for now. And it's a function. And here's that anonymous function. So instead of running this, we want to do the event dispatch and give it the cleanse demo water. Cavictus, not looking good for you, dude. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. Oh, you got me. You got me. Event dispatch, cleanse demo water. So we have to define this, which is this cleanse the global water. Okay. So instead of it being a global function like this, we're going to put it in this. Okay, so we also want, I guess we want this to be in the dispatch. We say this overwrites demo water cleanse to be true. Okay. So if we ever dispatch this cleanse demo water, it should reset the animatables to have the clean water wherever corrupted water used to be. It'll flip this demo water cleansed. And the demo water cleanse variable is what we're going to use to decide on the save that, hey, this has been cleansed, so save this for when we load. And then we need to cleanse the demo water, both in the Tome 1 success state as well as when load player data. Did we do that demo? No, that's not it. Cleanse demo water. Oh my god. You're good, Kvictus. Yeah, you're good. To be honest, I don't really know how to do it either. I'm texting Kane about the new sound effects. We need like, what, 3 more? We need the meditate, we need the crate break, and we need something else. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I can totally see that, especially if you want to play Baby Steps, you know? Did you play that one, Kavictus? Oh, I guess if you're away from your PC, you haven't. I want to stream that one when it comes out. Okay. Just text Kane about the new sound effects we need. So, event dispatch this cleanse demo water, and then we go ahead and reset our animatables, which ideally we can just put in the dispatch, but we'll have to test that. Yeah, Baby Steps is a game. It's made by the dude who did QWOP, which I used to play a little while ago. It's fun. It's tough, but it's fun. Okay, so we're going to dispatch this cleanse demo water. I'm going to try to put this on a button press so we can just see if it works. So let's try it. Okay. L. L loads. Okay. That's not what we wanted. Yeah, we don't want to load. We just want to dispatch for now. Okay, let's try this. We're going to see. It should be an instant transition, right? We're going to hit L. It didn't do it. Does it do it if we play the song? Let's see. Okay, it does cleanse. So does that mean the event dispatcher was working, or does that mean the tome state is still working on old logic? Tome 1 success state. We do this cleansed water. Do we run the cleanse the global water anymore? No? Because that means our dispatch worked, but only for... Yeah, we don't have this. Okay, so... It looks like the dispatch worked, but it doesn't work when we tried to just clear it for ourselves. Just by pressing L. Cleanse demo water. So when we hit L, it should cleanse demo water. Yeah. Let's try it again and just walk around and walk into the scene again and see. So I'm going to hit L, so it should have cleansed it. But it doesn't. Huh. So is the dispatch working or not? Basically, all we're doing is saying, hey, if there's a purple water anim starter, we're going to replace it with the clean anim water starter. And then add in a cleansed water frame into here. But that's still not working. Now this one, maybe the L... Hold on, let's just test something, because I don't know how the events need to be defined. So if we go to where we're running the cleanse demo water here in the play state, I'm just going to see if this works. Not that we're going to keep this, but we're going to define that event on and then dispatch it here in the L press. And if it works there, then I'm just not understanding how the event dispatcher's organized. Let's see. Okay, so I want to hit L. Okay. So it is local then, which I guess that just means we have to define, because like it didn't know what dispatch this cleanse demo water was until we defined it right here. So I guess we don't really need this. We don't really need this for the game. It's just that for testing purposes, it's kind of, I don't know. This is horrible. Like this, ideally, how come this isn't global? How come the event on doesn't recognize. We've got to look at the documentation for this. Yo, Bright, what's up, dude? You know it. You know it. Brrr. Okay. So this doesn't say anything about it being local or global. Now we do define this, so maybe we have to just define this this actual event where we actually import the event from Knife, because there's a time where we do. Where is it? We do a. I guess it's under dependencies. Okay, so if we have it, if we're requiring event here, I'm just curious if we define it here, does it become global? Event, and then event cleanse demo water. So when we do this, we're still dispatching, and actually we want to get rid of this because we want to test if it works just as a dispatch. This is the one in the success state, so I'll actually leave that one there. We just want to change the one where we press L for it, and it looks like we have it out already, so let's try that. We're looking for the L press to just update purple water into blue, and then we'll incorporate it into our saves. Well, it did dispatch it, but not when I wanted to. So we're accidentally dispatching it, I think. Did I hit L on accident? Because it should not be blue. It should only be blue. That's bad. It should only be blue. You know, ideally we're saving if it's blue, but I don't think we added that part yet. So if L is pressed, we're going to cleanse the demo water. Cleanse demo water. We have it declared twice, which I don't like. L is pressed. We dispatch it here. What the? In the save data, we are doing this. Okay. Let's not do this. We were actually... Okay, so I think this proves my point. I think we are actually able to do it anywhere now. Okay, so we're looking for purple water. And we've got purple water. Okay, now if I press L, we get the cleansed water. Great. So the event dispatch is finally working. So let's... We don't want to... See, this was to prove that we can do this on load now. Yo, sounds good, Kavictus. Have a good night. Thanks, dude. Thanks for hanging. Did the shout-out work for Bright? Did it work? Is it a slash? Oh, I think it's a slash. There we go. Yeah, go give Bright a follow. He does music and game dev stuff a lot like over here, so we always try to rate him when we can. I think it's... I don't actually know, Kavictus. I started watching Twitch the same week I started streaming Twitch, so like I still am kind of learning how things work. Okay, so this is in the load. So now we need to be able to say, when we dispatch this cleanse demo water, we're going to keep track internally of this state called demo water cleanse gets true. And this is whenever we run the dispatch for cleanse water demo. So if we are playing the game and it gets dispatched, this variable turns into true. Yo, sounds good, Victus. Peace out. Then that this is true, so now we need to be able to ask if this is true and save it into our save player data. So this demo water cleansed gets to be equal to this demo water cleansed. So we save either it's false or true. So we're just going to save it in there. And then when we load our game, load player data, if we have a demo water cleansed key in our save data, which we should, then we're going to say that we actually just want to run the event dispatch here. This may, yeah, it isn't a constant. I capitalize it for who knows why. Demo water cleanse, I think we want to just do the dispatch. So we want to see only if this is true though. So if there is a key of demo water cleanse, this is jacked up, man. I mean, do we say, because this is cycling through the table of all the saved data, the deserialized binary that we get from our save table. So now we're saying, well, if the key is water demo water cleansed, now just because there's a key doesn't mean it's true or false. We have to ask if it's true. You know, just to be verbose, we can say if it's equal to true, that means the demo water's cleansed. That means we should dispatch the cleansed demo water to overwrite the purple. And that is in, let's just see. So it's purple. We hit L. Let's go save it and see if we can load this. So we just saved it, we quit. We're gonna see if we saved the blue water. So we just loaded the game, so it should have ran cleanse demo water. And we've got blue. So the blue did save. Now every time we go, it'll be blue now. So that isn't right for this game, but when people are playing the game, that thing only becomes blue if we have a demo water cleansed saved. So whenever we do this demo water cleansed, whenever we dispatch this cleanse demo water event, we're then saving that we have cleansed that water, and then we need to load it. We are loading it. So that seems to be working. It's just hard to test now because it's like we don't have a reverse demo water, or I guess we can just stop executing it on the load to get our purple water back, but should be working in the game. So that is one of the two global elements we need to work into our save and load system. The other one is the shortcut. So we do have, this is going to be gross, but we've got a shortcut over here, right? So like right now, there's a very specific initialization. Oh, actually, that shouldn't be possible. See how it remembered that we pushed that boulder? If we're on the other side... it's just hard to test. We have certain boulders that stay once you push them. So we need to basically save where those boulders go if you've unlocked the shortcut, essentially, so that next time you save it, you don't have to go all the way through the dungeon again to unlock the shortcut. I think that's what I want to do. I guess the alternative is you have to open it every time, every like session you play. But if you quit the game, well, I guess that's a good question. If we unblock the demo and then we die and we continue from a game over state, I would assume that it's still unblocked. I would think that the shortcut is still unblocked at that time. Yeah, let's test it. We just have to... We can make the L button... We used to have a F button load where we were. Right here. Let's say that this F button puts us on the right scene now, and let's see. Okay, so we're gonna unblock this and then die and continue game. Okay, we continue game and it remains unblocked. Okay, so as is, it's unblocked. It's kind of like semi-permanent, right? If you play the game, you know, I guess let's see if we quit to the menu and then load, what will happen. We quit to the title screen, we start again, and it half messed up? What the... that's not good. If we push this thing, and then die, and then continue. It remembered over there. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay. I don't know. I mean, it remembers the block's locations when we continue. There's a couple of them that it remembers, I'm pretty sure. We'll have to look at our implementation because it's a little random. Okay, it remembers those. So what are we doing to kind of lock those in place? They're pushables, they're boulders, they're... Do we have it called shortcut or something? Shortcut 1. Okay, so we're... This is in our play state. Where the heck is this? Just in our play state? It's just like dangling around in our play state over here. We're saying, okay, well, if our current scene is the scene with the shortcut, which I don't like that, it's just like raw in the play state like this. Yeah, because ideally we just do a little dispatch like, hey, shortcut 1's activated. Go ahead and load all the collidable map objects to their specific place. But what's happening is we cycle through the collidable map objects, which are all the pushable boulders. If it is a boulder, and if it's a key item boulder, which specific boulders are, we don't want to. We do this check to see, to make sure that it's a specific column, because if you push the boulder where it blocks you walking in from the other side, we don't want you to clip in. So we're not saving the location of a boulder, even if it is a key item, if it's in the wrong column or row. This is so bad. Oh, this is so bad programming, man. If key item 1, if key item 2, if key item 3. And we're basically just saying, well, if it's a key item, we just set a key item true. So like, what do we do with this key item? It's a reset original position if it's a not key item. I guess we could come up with a dedicated output for what the shortcut success looks like. You know, this boulder's here, this boulder's here, so that we ensure that we don't get any boulders on the column 1. And if we do that, if we make like a boulder solved location, we can do an event dispatch that says shortcut is open, or it would be the shortcut over to the Dusty Desert. So we would say like Dusty Desert shortcut is open, therefore dispatch a boulder replacement shortcut upon a load. And so like, I mean, this way it wouldn't load the boulders exactly as the player saved it, but it could overwrite them in a very specific location, saying, okay, well, let's just treat this as it's solved, so now the boulders are here. If you want to push the boulders further from that, you can, but next time you save it and next time you load it, it'll still open with a default. The shortcut is already open for you. I think that makes sense. Because the other thing we're doing is we're just resetting the original position. I know, Melon. It's like, if people, I mean, I'm sure people could notice that stuff, but it's like there's so many little details in games that like everything is a decision. Like every little thing is a decision, whether or not it's, yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so we reset these. When do we reset the original positions on these pushables? I think it's anytime we change the scene, right? Any scene transition. Okay, so this looks like it is upon a finish shifting. I don't think the finish shifting makes sense because we need it to be in the right location once we enter the scene, once we begin to enter the scene. So do we do one on a begin shifting? Well, no. Okay, this does make sense. What do you mean in reverse order? I don't know if I've ever beaten Link to the Past. I never owned that one. No, this does make sense because this is once we finish shifting, we reset the entities for the map that we were on before we update our current map to be the next map. So as we leave the scene, we reset those original positions. So if we were to do this similar thing where we cycle through the entities and we reset their original positions, which would handle the key item or not, we could just put this into a dispatch for the shortcut scene at the row and column. And if we added event dispatch for that, it would just reset the original positions of those pushable entities. Wow, I didn't know you could do that. I thought they were pretty much locked in to make you play it one way. Do the last dungeon first. Do they have to like clip out of bounds to get the last dungeon? I feel like that's got to be tough. Yeah, I think I like this. I mean, this method I'm saying does keep that immersion where it would save the location. Basically, there's a couple of key item boulders in that scene that cannot be placed. So it's like that cannot be placed on column 1. So let's try this where we can say we want this reset original position to only happen on a event dispatch of a we make an event, call it reset sand shortcut boulders. Okay, something like this. We say reset sand shortcut boulders. I'll call it desert shortcut. Reset desert shortcut boulders. And we're going to cycle through. We have to find which, is it 7.5 that this is at? Seven five. Okay, so we're only going to care about 7.5. We can do this. Uh-oh. Okay, so we're going to cycle through the shortcut boulder entities, and we're just going to reset each one of their original position, and that goes in and checks to see if they're a key item. If they're a key item, it sets their position very specifically. Let's see. I might have got that backwards. If it's a pushable, if it's a key item, if it's not a key item, we save its location. If it... Okay. I don't think this will work. now that I'm thinking about it. Because the reset original position is only if it's not a key item. But that doesn't allow us to tell the game where the solved key item position is. So it doesn't help us. Yeah, it doesn't help us because we don't want the original position, we want the solved position. But there is like yeah, I don't think this will work. Because even though when we leave the scene and come back after we've solved it, we're resetting the original position for the non-key items, which is fine and works for the semi-permanent continuation of the shortcut being opened. But if we were to load the game, we reinitialize the boulders at the starting point, and then we'd be resetting the original position, which, since we're not moving non-key item blocks, it doesn't move those. It only moves stuff to their original location, which is in the unsolved state. Okay, so we might have to do what I was thinking, which was just hard code in a solved position for boulders for it to load from. If you still play the game and continue after death, it would load whatever your status was, but then if you save it, quit the game completely, and then load it, it'll load whatever we decide is a solved boulder state. So it's a little weird. I'm trying to think if there's a better way to do it. I guess it's like, part of me is thinking it's okay to do this kind of thing, because if the player gets stuck, right? If they push a boulder, I don't think we've allowed this to happen, but if they push a boulder where it would block a person walking from on the other side and block the path, it could be like a game-breaking thing. But if we reload the game, it would like have a default safe position, so that if there is a bug with the game, the next time you play it, it would hopefully fix it. You know, I don't like entertaining that, oh, if it's just broke, just quit the game and reload it. But that's, I guess, one little argument for the unforeseen capability of pushing a boulder into a you know, because like if we always save the entity's locations for the global pushables, like they can push the boulder in front of the shortcut and then never be able to open it. So it's like, if they were to save it after blocking that shortcut, we need a way to be able, like, hey, that's not a legal move, let's just respawn those boulders at the right location. So I think what we need to do is just overwrite the initialization of the boulders into being, you know, we should have a shortcut declaration in the map declarations. We have a shortcut to the desert. We're adding a bunch of boulders here on 7.5, so this is the sand desert shortcut. Okay, so if this is the part where we start, the starting point of the puzzle, we need to come up with a solved version and then add it to the event dispatch. Here in the dependencies. So instead of running this reset original position, we want to basically take out all the boulders that are in the collidable map objects. So we have in the pushable, there's a type, because there's a pushable either crate or whatever. So this type, this dot type, is this third parameter here, boulder. So we're going to cycle through the entities, not the entities. We're going to cycle through the collidable map objects, and we can cycle through, since we can say for key value in pairs. Collidable map objects, we're going to cycle through all of those. If we're on a type boulder, And it's just a double equals to a string boulder. If we are a boulder, and this is only on this event dispatch for the reset desert shortcut. So it's like, it's not reset desert shortcut, it's more like clear desert shortcut, or solve desert shortcut boulders. So we cycle through those collidable map objects. If they're a boulder, then we're gonna initialize them in their solved locations, which this is their starting location, but we have to also we have to basically clear this table, don't we? Yeah, we have to clear this table so that we can populate it with only the right boulders. So we're gonna go and say the first thing we do here, the first thing we do is collidable map objects is just flushed. We want to take out all the boulders that were in there, all the default starting locations, and we're going to overwrite them with new locations. And for right now, let's just say that we push everything over like 2, just to test whether or not we're actually moving these things. So there's a starting point. We're pushing them both. We're pushing all 5 of them over to the right, and we're going to see if dispatching this event, solve deserts shortcut boulders, if dispatching that event actually cleanses, flushes the table of boulders and reinitializes them at safe locations. So we're gonna add this now that this is globally defined as a solve desert shortcut boulders. We're going to see that pressing L is going to dispatch this. So it's not this anymore. We want to try to dispatch the solve desert borders event. So it should just delete all the boulders and reload them at a different location. Let's see if that works. Then we just need to decide what is the solved location. Okay, we're gonna hit L. Didn't work. There we go. I think we just needed that out. Fuck. It did not work. Like, maybe it's a type boulder. Let's try this again. Oops. Let's try this again. This time, we're going to put the original location, but we're going to just say, you know what? Now there's only going to be one boulder. We're not going to change where it is. We're just going to only have one of them when we press L. Let's see. All but one should disappear. They all disappear, man. See, we don't want to delete everything in the collidable map objects. That's how we're losing the treasure chest. So do we put, maybe we don't cleanse that exactly, but yeah, maybe we don't cleanse this, but if it's a boulder, we're gonna just can we do a table.remove? See, we don't have a, I guess we do. We have a position with the key index, and we can just say, see, this will screw everything up. Oh, this will screw everything up, because we're saying let's remove the key that we're about to overwrite with a new one. But we're like in the middle of a loop here, so it'll kind of just screw that up. Right? I'm thinking the treasure chest would still be there, but it would just screw stuff up. Okay. It kept 3. Why did it keep 3? It's type boulder? There's only 3 boulders. Where's the shortcut? Oh, there are 5 boulders in the collidable objects. There are 5. So why did we... See, this has got to be because we do the table remove. Okay, so... What do we do? Oh my god, we're at 299 followers. That's awesome. Okay. Collidable map objects include things like a treasure chest, a signpost, an NPC. So we don't want to just, we don't want to just delete this. Gosh, how would we do this? I guess we would cycle through and just remove all the boulders, and then we would table insert whatever we need. So if it's a boulder, we want to remove it. So we want to say table.remove from the 7.5 collidable map objects. See, and I think this screws things up. No, this should be okay, because if, like, let's say the boulder's index 1. In the loop, we remove index 1, but then the next one on the loop is going to index 2, but we've already removed... Yeah, it is wrong, because then we've already removed index 1. So it's almost like once we remove this, we have to just... Do we have to subtract 1 from k so that it... This can't be right, right? Because when we delete the index 1, the next index we need to check in the loop is index... It becomes index 1. Like, that's the... Because we removed the first index... So now index 1 is actually what used to be an index 2, but when we cycle through this, the key will increment from 1 to 2, and indexing 2 will just index what used to be 3. So by removing an index from the key here, after we remove the object from the collidable map objects, that'll ensure that we're indexing the right next item. Does that make any sense? There's got to be a different way to do that so it doesn't screw up like that. See, because that's still... Uh-oh. I was able to remove... Oh god, what's that? That is so busted. Oh no. It sucks because, yeah, we don't have pushables in their own table. Yeah, the table.remove is just not the way to do it. We want to override it, essentially. So let's just say, if it's a boulder... Yeah, if it's a boulder, then we're going to just overwrite what it is. And what it is a collidable map object at index k. And we want to overwrite it by assigning it a new pushable. And we're going to say, well, for all of these boulders, we're going to put in a 2-5. So let's just see. We'll try to put a 3-5 instead. Oh, something's busted. Okay, so that does work, and it makes a bunch of boulders there, which is not right. But we are getting there where a dispatch would change them to be something. So we want to basically say, yeah, we want to give a specific location for every different boulder. Yeah, I feel like the move is we just delete every boulder that there is. Yeah, we just delete all the boulders first and then we just reinitialize them. So let's just do that. We'll go back to a list like this. For I in our collidable map objects, we're just gonna say, see, no, this also doesn't quite work. Because we're trying to say, okay, so as we're in a collidable map object, we're gonna go, if it's a boulder, we want to remove it. So let's do a table.remove from our 7.5 collidable map objects index 1 or I. If we remove the I, shifts everything up. So if we remove the I think we want to decrement the I still. Okay, we're trying to just remove all the boulders. I don't know, I feel like this is the same crap I just tried, but with a different loop. Yeah. It just doesn't do it. Well, that would have to be index I. It was mad at 15. It was mad at line 15. I've got to be overthinking this. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. I'm trying to think about, now that I'm thinking about it, like treasure chests and whether or not they're opened needs to be saved as well. And right now we don't have a way to do that. So I might just have to think about this problem and think about how we want to do it. Because basically, well, I mean, I guess we could have a global variable tracking little things like, hey, is the green tunic chest unlocked? If it's unlocked, when you load it, just make sure it's already unlocked so you can't get a second tunic and open the key item treasure chest again. Because we need to do, you know, is that a decent way to do it with these global variables? Like, because like I get we can do like a dispatch to say, hey, this is now gonna save as has already loaded, but we have to then reload it based on, yeah, it's like we have to declare them as a certain value so that we can save it and then load it. So I don't know, because collidable map objects, we also have signposts, as well as boulders and crates. Yeah, because ideally all we do is just delete all of the boulders in the collidable map objects, but it is not liking this. Maybe the move is to just go backwards to count through a loop downwards. So like if we say that the eye gets the length of the map 7.5, so that when we delete it, we're deleting off the end. I don't know if that's how Lua works though. So if we say eye gets this for as long as, can we say 1 and then -1 for the countdown? So we say I gets the length of objects in the objects until 1, and then the -1 is the increment. Then we can say if it's a boulder, then we want to remove it. And then we don't do this decrement, we just do a remove. This handles the decrement, and then we're only removing things starting at the end of the collidable map objects. I don't know. We're looking for all the boulders to disappear. That did work. And it kept the treasure chest, so that did actually work. It worked. It worked. Okay. So now that we've removed them, we want to spawn them at a very specific area. So if we go to where we actually do the shortcut, I think we can say now that we've removed them, now let's reinsert the shortcut approved locations for these boulders. Yes. Okay, so if we were to start here with key item 1, Where do we want key item 1 to be once everything is loaded as a correct shortcut? Well, if we hit L, that one just stays there. So the shortcut approved version of this would be still column 2, but it would be row 6. So where would 3, 5 go? So we should be locking in that first key item 1, and we want to lock in where the second one goes. So the first one should shift down. Second one should also shift down, just to be out of the way. So instead of 3, 5, we want 3, 6. And let's see where the next one can go. 2, 4. So those first two will go down, get locked in there. Okay, so that one can be 1 to the left. So that can be row 1. So let's see the next one. So that one should be on top of the pit. Nice. That one can be there. I don't really care about that one. So where does the last one go? Well, the last one is right next to... Yeah, that one can probably stay too. Yeah. So if that's the shortcut, reload, I like that. So like... Yeah, no matter what you do for the shortcut unlocking, when you load the game, it'll load like this, which I think is good enough. So all we have to do is call this solve desert shortcut borders whenever we load the game if this thing gets triggered. So we can trigger... Man, does this mean we have to save it in the map declarations though? So we have a solve desert shortcut boulders. Let's see the load player data and see where we do this. Shortcut, do we have shortcut? No. Basically we need to, when we go to save player data, we want to be able to say we need a tracker for the desert shortcut. Okay, and we have this demo, or desert. Yeah, we shouldn't have these all caps, but I don't know, my mind is just telling me to do it like this. Desert shortcut unlocked. Now, desert shortcut unlocked. Where do we... Where is this, man? Okay, so it starts off demo shortcut unlocked is not true. Then, uh-oh. Okay, so desert shortcut is not unlocked. Now, we do need... Because we need to trigger our normal play to say that, hey, we've unlocked the shortcut, which... we could do... I don't know. Let's look at the map and let's just see. Okay, so if this first boulder in front of us is down, then that could technically be a shortcut unlock. Shortcut 1. This is very strange. I don't really see of a way we're tracking this. We could check. We could check in the boulder. Ugh. It just isn't very good. It just is not very good. Yeah, we need to be able to... I mean, I guess we could... I was going to say we could just make the shortcut open as soon as you open the treasure chest that has the tome in it. Because at that point you will have passed where the green tunic is. But if you could technically at that point not pick up the green tunic, go get the tome, and then quit your game and load it, and then the shortcut will be open for you without putting on the green tunic and actually pushing it. So maybe we have it. I guess we can, yeah, I guess we can just check this one boulder for a location. I don't like the idea of putting that anywhere though. Like, do we put that check in the pushable update? Not really, because it's very specific for only one type of pushable boulder on a specific scene. Because yeah, we just need a way to trigger, hey, we've done the shortcut. And what is the trigger for the shortcut? It means you've pushed the boulders out of the way. And you've unblocked the path from the left side. So maybe what we can do is just do a check on scene 7.5 collidable map objects of type boulders. And say, if there's no boulder directly blocking the character, then the shortcut is open, which would trigger the save, which would trigger the event dispatch, which would trigger the load. And if at any point in time, like let's say they unblock the shortcut, does it get reblocked if they push a boulder to block the side from the other way? Well, the reset original position at the end of the finish shifting method is actually solving that. Okay, so I think we can do that where we check. Where do we check if the pathway's blocked though? We do have a play state where we're checking the collidable map objects here anyway. We're saying if it's this, we're trying to check. I hate this. I hate this. We put this in the play state, just chilling here. I really don't like this. Yeah, ideally maybe eventually when we have more logic for the play state for different scenes, we can just say do an event dispatch passing in 2 arguments of a row and column so that we're only doing the AI processing, not AI, but the scene logic processing for the current scene we're at, not just every scene in general. Because I hate this. Like in the play state, we're asking, okay, well, are we on map 7.5? And if so, are the boulders blah, blah, blah? Yeah, I don't like that we're doing this like this. I left a big old to-do there, so that's I probably left that and called it good. Okay, so basically we want to make sure no boulder is in front of the player. So we'd have to basically cycle through all the boulders, and we can say, you know, let's just say that if the boulder, you know, collides, let's just say, you know, in way, just, you know, just pseudocode, let's just say, if the boulder's in the way, or if it's blocking path, if any of the boulders are blocking the path, then we want the desert shortcut unlocked to become false. And we can say, you know what? The desert shortcut is technically unlocked, but as we cycle through, you know, we can say, okay, well, let's pretend the desert shortcut's unlocked. Then we cycle through all of the pushable boulders in our map 7.5, and if the boulder is blocking that path, meaning it has an X or Y position equal to just in front of the player coming in from the left side, then we would swap this to, if the boulder's blocking path, we say shortcut is false. Yeah. So how do we check if the boulder's blocking our path? Well, let's look at the pushable, because that's what's in that table. So let's look at pushable right here. X, Y, we do have an original tile X. We don't really care about that. Actually, this can work, because we can basically just say if the first boulder's key item is, actually, hold on, original tile X. Yeah, okay, yeah, we saved that. Okay, original tile X and Y. Okay. So it's not that we want to do this. I think we can ask a very specific one. It doesn't make it very useful for other maps like this. But we can say if we'd have to know which collidable map object, wow, we'd have to know what index the very specific boulder is. I guess it depends. If we add it before we add the treasure chest, this can work. It's just just such a house of cards. Okay, do we add the treasure chest into 7.5 before or after this? We add the treasure chest at line 1254. And these are at 300. So technically, this 2.5 boulder, which is the one we want to check, is the first one in the collidable map objects. I believe. We can test that. So right now, we're going to say this 2-5. This 2-5. Okay. So I want to make sure we have this 2-5 boulder. So I want to make sure we're indexing this correctly. So we're just going to print this up. And we're going to say, we're just going to print up to make sure we're indexing the correct boulder. Okay, so the index 1, and we just want to see the tile X, original tile X. Original tile X and Y. Okay, so we're going to print it up and we're just going to concatenate or cast it to a string and then concatenate it. We're looking for 2-5. So if it's 2-5, we should be in business. It should be this index. We want to print it at top left. Okay, so we're just going to see, we're looking for 2-5 here. What's going on? This is what it was. To string, we close this. No, then we concatenate. Then we close this. That's it. Okay, we're looking for 2-5. 2-5. Okay. So that is the right boulder we're looking for. So what we're trying to do is say, when we're in our play state, we look at our boulder and we're going to check if that first boulder's blocking us, right? Just like this, we're saying if this boulder's blocking us, then this is no longer unlocked. So like we just want to flush that to false. Anytime that boulder is in its original position. If you push it down out of the way, then push another boulder to block it, it would technically be a shortcut unlock if you were to save it and load, but the save is on the other side. So if you want to save it, you'd have to either fight backwards out or go the other way, then save it. And at that point, you should probably just have the shortcut unlocked because you've been there and you've pushed the boulder. At least you've pushed the boulder that was blocking out of the way. So I think that's an okay solve if it works. But we want to say, we want to check, you know, if the map we basically, yeah, we're looking for the 2-5, right? So we're trying to say if the map 7-5 collidable map objects index 1, if its original tile X is equal to 2 and 5. So if it's equal to 2 and also 5, tile Y would be 5. Then we know it's in its original location, and therefore it's blocking the path, and therefore the desert shortcut is not unlocked. Okay, so if we print up this desert shortcut unlocked, we should see that it's unlocked if, as long as the boulder that's blocking the way is not in its original location, then the shortcut is unlocked. And the original location is just saying, hey, this 2-5 is actually blocking the path from the left side. So if that boulder, technically if any boulder is blocking there, we should say that, but I'm not really worried about that. So let's print up this desert shortcut unlocked. So we're trying to print up the desert shortcut unlocked. So we say desert shortcut unlocked, and we're gonna put it at top of the screen here. Okay, so it should become unlocked if we move this from blocking. So we're just gonna... Oh, it says true, which is not right. We say it's true, then we cycle through. We're seeing if original tile X is true. Yeah, because we should be overwriting it to false, because 2-5, 2-5. We need to do this. This is so jacked up. This is not right at all. We need this boulder if... This is so wrong. Okay. So we're going to say the shortcut's unlocked, essentially, but say, okay, well, if the first object in that collidable map object, if it's at its original position, we flush that to false. We're looking for that false. Okay, so we've got it false. Okay, so we got the shortcut. Okay. This is so very awful. But basically we're saying we've got this global variable that is now just either true or false based on the location of the boulder that's closest to blocking the pathway. And basically all we're doing is saying if that boulder is in the place that is blocking the pathway, then that shortcut is not unlocked. But if it is, it's actually, yeah, unlocked false. If the first boulder's out of the way, then we don't overwrite this and it'll actually be unlocked. So this boolean, as long as we initialize this as false, so now all we have to do is ask when we save, was the shortcut unlocked or not? And if it was, then we save this and we reinitialize the event dispatch to load the proper locations of the solved position. So when we go to save, when we go to save, if we basically want to save a boolean of this desert shortcut unlocked, and we save it from that global variable, desert shortcut unlocked. Then when we go to load, we say if it is desert shortcut unlocked, right? If we have that key, then we ask if that boolean is true. We can just say if v, but I just want to say it's true. So if it is unlocked, then we actually want to dispatch an event called desert shortcut unlocked. And that should be what resets the state here. Oh, it's solve desert shortcut boulders. That's what it is. Event dispatch. Solve desert shortcut boulders. And we just run it like this. We just dispatch it. So now, if we save it and it's blocked, it should load it a blocked puzzle. But if we solve the puzzle, then when we save it and then load it, it should be unlocked. So let's test that. So we're going to just walk and it should be blocked for us. Yeah, so it's blocked for us when we load. So now let's try to solve it, and we just solved it there. Now let's save it and see if we load the saved version. So we save it, we quit, we come back to play, and over here is a solved location. Cool. That's exactly what we want. It is very weird, but it does solve the issue. And it should keep it, you know, if we didn't have it solved, which our save data has it solved, so unless we were to add a button to make it unsolved and then save it, then load it again, they wouldn't go back to their original positions, which is okay. But it's still to the point where we can push that and leave and come back, and we have the key items reset. So that boulder particularly does get reset, but the other boulders don't get reset. So like this one, if I push that one and come out, that one didn't get reset because that one's out of the way. It's just that we have this one reset because if you block the path like this and go all the way around, you would clip through this boulder because you're walking into a boulder essentially. So that's why that one has to get reset over here, so you don't accidentally block yourself in. So that functionality carries over through the shortcut save, and that's why we have to reset those things so we don't accidentally get the player in a spot where they clip through the boulder and have a bad time. So I think that's okay. I think that's good. So the next thing and last thing we need to add to the save and load is the treasure chest status. Have we opened this treasure chest already? If so, we need to just make sure, you know, we save the unlock. So we would just need to cycle through the treasure chests and just save the status of every treasure chest into the load. So I guess we could, instead of cycling through all the scenes and all the treasure chests, we could just do an event dispatch for when we open the treasure chest. We then dispatch an event that will save that status of the actually that won't work because we don't want to save it upon just opening the chest. We want to save it upon opening the chest and saving the game. Then we want to save the status of the treasure chest. So we can't really do an event dispatch upon the open, because whether or not you save it depends on whether or not you get it and then make it to a prayer idol and then actually save it. So I think tomorrow we're going to be doing that. I think it's just a treasure chest we've got to do. Yeah, I think it's just a treasure chest we have to reset. So what we're going to do is do a little deep dive into what the treasure chest class looks like and what determines whether or not it's interactable. Because once it's open, we're hitting interact with it and it doesn't do anything because it's already open and we already got the thing. So if that's just chest opened already and that just makes it non-interactable and it changes to this image, then we need to, upon saving, go to all the treasure chests that have been open and save which ones they are, so that when we load it, we can just flip those switches so that we can't open a chest we've already got and get more, get a tunic when we've already got the tunic from the chest. So that's what's going to be tomorrow. Other than that, we've got the global saves working for the global corrupted water to cleansed water. That saving and loading's working, as well as the shortcut for the shortcut to the desert is also working for the save and load. It's not the prettiest, but it's working. So yeah, we basically just added the saving and event dispatches for cleansing the water and resetting the shortcut to the desert. So we added this event on cleanse demo water. Yeah, I probably want to move all those so it's not at the top of the dependencies for all the event on definitions. So we might do that. I don't see what we changed here. I don't remember changing this stuff. We took out this V-type boulder. I feel like that's wrong. I feel like we committed something wrong in here. We shouldn't have changed this. It's just the indenting, I guess. No? I feel like we're missing an end in here somewhere. This is disgusting. The indenting is all jacked up. I mean, we took out this if it's a type boulder. Which I don't think we should have done. Dude, I need some Tums looking at this git diff. I feel like we want to add in this if V-type boulder is here. Which means we need one more end. It's like working now though, which is kind of freaky. Kane just sent us some new audio, so we might be implementing that tomorrow as well. I want to say we screwed up here by removing this boulder. If V-type boulder in our collidable map objects, this is like line 700 in our play state. Let's check this out. Yeah, right here, we're going to say if V is equal to boulder, does this work? I mean, it saved it. It saved it, and it probably reloads it fine. Yeah? Okay. Let's just check the get diff now. Okay, it looks like it doesn't have all of that old stuff. Okay, so we moved to cleanse demo water, event dispatch. We should probably make it a dispatch for the reinit animatables too, because we use that in a couple spots. But for now, that's looking right. Okay, that's looking right. So this was a big commit that might break things down the line, so we just want to make sure to give enough info to find it in the future in case the demo shortcut, boulder reset, whatever, gets screwed up. So we just want to be verbose about what we did here, which was add global events for cleansing demo water and unlocking desert shortcut. Okay. So that is almost all we need for the saving and loading for the demo, as far as the demo is concerned. The last thing is the treasure chest open status. So we will do that tomorrow, and as well as add some sound effects from Kane, because he just got back to us some new stuff, so we'll get to that tomorrow. Oh my gosh, it's almost been 3 hour stream already. That's crazy. So we will run credits and we will call it a night. Thanks for watching. I'll find someone to raid out to. Let's see who's on. We got Big Boy Games. We got Whitechapel. We got Kuju. We might hit up Kuju. Yeah, let's hit up Kuju. Thanks for watching. Yo, thanks for hanging bright. Appreciate it, dude. We've got to add Kane to the credits also, so I'll get to that. I'll do that off stream. But thanks for watching. We'll raid out to Kuju, making his own game in the game language and engine I am planning on working on next. So after Lua, we're going over to Jai. Once it is released to the public, it's public, it's private beta still. So I like Kuju's stream. I plan to interview him on the channel. We're in talks about him being in episode 2 of Focus Hour. I just got to get back to him because we were both busy with our demos and whatnot. So eventually he'll be on Focus Hour episode 2. So we'll just say what's up and hang out with him for a bit. Thanks for watching.
Transform bomb team.